πρόσταγμα, έστω, ναι.
Ah, Miss Villager. Good to see you're looking better. A little worse for wear, but no harm done, right? Well, today...
Έτοιμη.
Oh, no. I will make sure you are nice and safe back here in town. No need to be worried about being sent to the front lines. Welcome, villagers, heroes, and monsters alike. My name is Encryx, and welcome to Age of Mythology, Retold, the complete beginner's guide, Part 2. If you haven't already, please check out Part 1, which goes over the UI, resources, and unit movement. Link down in the description below. Now, let's dive in, shall we? We need to rebuild from that devastating enemy raid. To do so, we shall be covering the 3 pillars of any RTS. Number 1, establishing an economy. Number 2, building buildings. And number 3, researching technologies. And this part shall conclude by combining all the information that we have learned so far to train up an army and beat this campaign scenario. Establishing an economy. With Miss Villager out of commission once more, we need to call in reinforcements. As with all units, to train them, we must first select their corresponding training facility. If villagers were the heart of our economy, then logically, the heart of our little town is where we should find them. As with units, we mouse over and left-click to select this here town center. And then, we mouse over what we intend to train to reveal the condensed unit information. Only the most crucial information will be displayed here, namely, the resource cost of the unit, its population requirement, and its training time. Once we have decided what we want to train, we can select the unit from our HUD. This will add a single villager to what we call the build queue. The build queue is displayed just above the HUD and conveys the remaining time on the order through the slowly shrinking green highlight. Age of Mythology Retold also has a global build queue which displays all of your queued orders in the top left of the screen. It is very useful to keep track of what you are training. So, once this green colored egg timer dings, out pops our replacement, reinforcing villager. Now, I know what you're thinking. Will I have to click on my town center and click a new villager every single time I want to train a new one? Of course not. This is where the build queue shines. We can left-click on the Train Villager button multiple times, which will place multiple villagers into the production queue. Alternatively, we can right-click the Train Villager button to automatically produce villagers one after another. This is called auto queue, or AQ for short. Through auto queuing a unit with right-click, whenever the build queue is empty and you have the required resources for a unit, those resources will be deducted from your bank, and a villager, or whatever unit you wish, will be put into the production queue. I strongly recommend that you make sure that your town centers are auto-queuing villagers as much as possible. Lastly, for the training unit section, I want to draw your attention to the bottom left of the HUD. For our units, this is where the stop button resides. But since buildings, like berry bushes, or trees, obviously can't suddenly uproot themselves and move around. We instead have the Set Rally Point button to select a point where all freshly trained units will go once they are ready. If we select this action and left-click on the ground, or directly onto a resource, we can select that as the rally point, and if it is a resource, the villagers will go and collect it automatically. We can also right-click to set a rally point, if you don't want to left-click set rally point and then left-click again. Now that we know how to fuel our economy by training units, we now need to increase our production capabilities by building a base. Picking up the pace, since we never know when our enemies shall return. Building buildings is essentially the same as building units. However, we choose which building we want from our villagers' HUD, with similar critical information to units being displayed. After selecting the building, a pale scaffold shall appear. If this building is tinged white, that you can select this location. Should the tinge turn red, it means something is blocking this location, which either needs to be removed or another location chosen. Common obstructions include, but aren't limited to, resources like trees, gold, deep water, which will not allow any buildings to be built on, and units. If these units are wild animals or your own units, the building will not tinge red, as those units will just move out of the way on their own volition. But if they are hostile units, it will not allow you to build there. And in the first place, we don't really want our villagers anywhere near the enemy base. However, looking back to the top of our screen, we are currently in the first age, the Archaic Age. This means our building options are severely limited, and unavailable buildings are grayed out in the HUD and have a number next to them, indicating which age we need to be to unlock them. All civilizations gain access to their military buildings starting in the Second Age, the Classical Age. But to get to the next age, we must learn how to research technology. Once more, we return to the town center. Research is very similar to both training units and building buildings. However, each research can only be done once, and sometimes will have a building requirement instead of an age requirement. Missing a certain requirement will show up in red text when you hover over the button with your mouse cursor. So, after our villager builds the temple, we can age up. That will bring us to this screen, the Age Up screen, where we are presented with one of the biggest decisions you can make. Who shall we worship? Each god comes with their distinct advantages, disadvantages, and specializations. Which minor gods are available will depend on your major god, which we will go over in great detail very soon. Selecting the god we prefer, the Age Up progress will additionally be displayed in the circle surrounding our age icon, alongside the global and town center production queues. Having completed our Age Up, two things happen. First, our buildings visually change, indicating we are more advanced, and the unique myth unit associated with our god will appear for free at the temple. This Cyclops represents a big part of our military and will be crucial for the upcoming battle. Now that we have finally unlocked our military buildings, let's combine the knowledge we've gained so far, and we shall show these raiders we aren't to be trifled with. So, we select a villager, click on the building we want, select a suitable location, and build the building. Then, we can select the building and start auto-queuing military from it. A large army of hoplites will do the trick. Now, while our army is building, we need to keep both an eye out on our resources and our population. If our population starts approaching its cap, we need to build more houses, as covered in part 1. And if we start running out of food or gold, we can send villagers to gather what we need using the drag and select we learned last time. Or we can change that through the villager priority. Finally, when we have amassed enough soldiers, we want to research medium infantry from the military academy. This is what is called a line upgrade. Line upgrades upgrade all the units of a specific type. For example, the medium infantry upgrade upgrades all of your infantry units into stronger versions of themselves, with an additional line upgrade being made available each subsequent age, ranging from medium, heavy, and champion. A line upgrade exists for all your cavalry and archer units as well. Naturally, it costs a pretty penny to outfit all these men. Great, our army is ready. Let us select them and right-click towards the enemy base to begin our attack. Once we destroy this town center, we will have crippled the enemy economy, and they will have no choice but to flee.
Kamos is fleeing from the town center. After him!
You said it, Arkantos. Congratulations. You have completed the complete beginner's guide. You are now equipped to take the fight to Kamos and his vile pirate raiders in the Fall of the Trident campaign. Join me next time in the Advanced Beginner Guide, where we will cover all things water, exploring the high seas through your docks and navy, and do a deep dive into the unit information box, learning about damage types and the true depths of rock, paper, scissors as we uncover the counter triangle. This is NCryX signing off, and I will catch you legends in the next video.